Welcome everyone, Gunner here, and we got our Week 5 preview of college football. We have a lot of games to go over. To be honest, a lot of 25 top 25 matchups, um, or top 25 teams playing. Excuse me. And then, as always, we're gonna go over some recruiting. So, guys, let's get into it as always. Hope you guys have been enjoying your fabulous week as we get closer to the weekend. And we got our first game of the weekend, and it's on Friday. Virginia Tech versus Miami. Spread is at 19.5. It opened at 16.5. I mean, pretty much I do anticipate Miami to roll. Pretty much ever since that Virginia Tech Vandy game. I just haven't been high on Virginia Tech ever since. Miami's cruising. Cam Ward's looking good, and he's definitely going to be a top 5 pick in next year's draft. Definitely going to have some more breaking news, so I'm very excited to share that. We will when we get to that section. But Kentucky versus Ole Miss. Saturday morning game. Ole Miss rolls again. The spread is at 17.5. It's at 18. I mean, Ole Miss is just too explosive. Jackson Dart's looking legit. Next one here: Minnesota versus Michigan. Michigan handles. I'm not sure about the spread, to be honest, because how they operate and how they do things. But I mean, it doesn't compare to Michigan, so I anticipate a very similar game of what Michigan did last week and just running down their throats. Oklahoma State versus Kansas State. This is a top 25 matchup. Both teams, great matchup. Oklahoma State's coming off the loss against Utah. Kansas State is coming off the loss against BYU. I like BYU or not BYU. I like Kansas State in this game to even cover. I don't trust Bowman. Don't trust the Oklahoma State, and it doesn't seem like Ollie's the same. It just doesn't seem like it. All right, another game here, and I think a lot of people are sleeping on this game. BYU versus Baylor. The spread is at 2.5. Baylor is now 3.5. It started at 2.5. Excuse me. No, to me, this one is very, very, very fishy. To me, I think Baylor wins. Again, I feel like BYU should be the favorite, and the fact that they're not the favorites. This is a morning game, so they just played a night late game. So it's definitely going to be an adjustment for them. But yeah, give me Baylor to win. Next game here is my beloved Trojans will face the Wisconsin Badgers. In LA, 12:30 on CBS. Give me Trojans. We bounce back after the loss against Michigan, and we become 1-1 in the Big Ten Conference. Next game here: Louisville versus Notre Dame. Louisville's 3-0. Notre Dame is 3-1. The spread started at 6.5, and it's been at 6.5. Over under has gone down. I mean, I like Louisville. I think this is definitely going to be a one possession game. Notre Dame's definitely going to play ball control like most teams out there have been doing and whatnot. But yeah, give me the Louisville Cardinals to upset the Fighting Irish. All right, you versus Auburn. Both teams lost their season opener, their SEC opener. Excuse me. And now we got a matchup. We expect Hawkins, the true freshman, to start for OU. Jackson Arnold has been benched. Don't foresee him coming back unless an injury, or at least Hawkins is just that bad. But yeah, give me OU to win this game and continue the bad start for. All right, next one: Arkansas versus Texas A&M. Both teams 3-1. Both teams 1-0 in conference. I like Arkansas. I like their quarterback Green. I think he's legit. Marcel Reed's definitely solid as well, but I just think Green's very explosive. So give me Arkansas. All right, this one is going to be a blowout. Mississippi State versus Texas. Texas is rolling. They could be just because I played with them and I'm in a dynasty with them as Texas, but man, they're very explosive. That offense is insane, even with their legit injuries in real life. So yeah, Texas big. All right, next one here is Ohio State versus Michigan State. The spread's at 24 started at. It's now 23.5. I mean, I think Ohio State rolls them. It will be fascinating to see. This is their first real road game. The offense hasn't been that stellar. It's still putting up points, but I think people are missing something from that offense, and so this will be a good test for them. All right, Stanford versus Clemson. Both teams are 2-1. Both teams are 1-0 in conference. Give me the Clemson Tigers to roll the Stanford Cardinal. Iowa State versus Houston. This is a very interesting matchup. First conference game for Iowa State. Houston is 1-3, 0-1 in conference. I mean, I think Iowa State wins this easy. Houston just seems like they are just a shell of themselves. All right, pretty much the game of the week. Georgia versus Bama. Both teams 3-0. Georgia is 1-0 in conference. This is Bama's first conference game. The spread started at 2.5. It's down to 2. It's pretty much going to stay there. This is a pick'em game. I'm going to give the edge to Bama. They're at home. Give me Bama to win big in the SEC. All right, this is a big Big Ten matchup here. Illinois versus Penn State. This is Penn State's whiteout game. Both teams undefeated. First conference game for Penn State. Illinois is coming off the win against Nebraska on the road. Another road game for them. Give me the plus 18. I think Penn State will not cover, but Penn State will win this game. They're just a better team yeah. All right, we're gonna cruise down some of these because these are some wash-ups. But South Alabama versus LSU. LSU should be able to win this game. I'm not sure about covering. They are banged up. Harold Perkins, if you don't know, torn ACL, out for the season on defense. So yeah, LSU wins comfortably. Next game here, Washington State versus Boise State. Give me the Cougs, man, to continue to be undefeated. They will be 5-0 after this game, and Boise State will be 2-2. Arizona versus Utah. Give me Utah. I just don't trust Arizona anymore. Yeah, Utah's rolling. And then lastly, guys, before we get into recruiting, is Oregon versus UCLA. I mean, I got to go with the Oregon Ducks. They should be able to crumble them. What's fascinating, though, UCLA plays at 8 p.m. local time, right? Next week, they play Penn State at Penn State. That is a 9 a.m. kickoff local time, 12 at Penn State or whatever. So that's a huge adjustment for the bodies and whatnot. So that's Penn State stuff, or Big Ten's really not helping them. Really not helping them. So it sucks, but it is what it is. All right, guys. So we're gonna go over some recruiting here, and this is not the ideal recruiting. Mostly we talk about the high school kids here. But Bear Alexander, USCD lineman, will be redshirting, and his intentions to enter the portal. From what I know, is his camp wasn't happy about the snaps, and then basically wasn't happy about how the fans were reacting, essentially as well. Look, it is what it is. I trust the defensive staff. I trust the D-line coach that's been in the NFL, has coached Aaron Donald. I think he knows a thing or two over Bear and Bear's camp, unfortunately. So I wish all the best for him in his camp, but it's definitely going to be a tough road for them moving forward. All right. Another D lineman we're going to talk about is Kamori Moore. He decommits from Oklahoma. This is the second D lineman in the last 10 days. If you don't recall, Bucard, Florida kid, he decommitted. So I would say watch out for Nebraska. Just recently saw that there was a Nebraska. Yeah, watch out for Nebraska. They have a prediction out there. We'll see. I'm sure this will kind of carry on into the season. Next one here is safety Jordan Young will announce his commitment November 2nd. It is down to Michigan, NC State, Florida State, and Clemson. The Michigan is a bit of a shock to me, honestly. I think Clemson's the team to beat. We'll see, but good for Michigan to get involved with this kid. All right, another decommitment is Jet White. He is a cornerback. He decommits from Maryland, as you can see. He was a former SC commit, if you're curious. So he's been around the block, has been, doing his thing and whatnot. So he's definitely going to be reopening his recruitment, and we'll see what happens with that. We have 2 more for sure already been placed, but 1 more we'll have to kind of type it in. But DJ Pickett, he is currently an LSU commit. Florida and Miami are still pushing for this kid, so keep an eye on that. We'll see if anything transpires. Another school that hasn't been mentioned much, and maybe because Oregon has faded away from him, but Oregon. Oregon was in the mix prior to his original commitment, and I do anticipate them to still be involved. We'll see. I don't follow them like that, but just keep an eye out on Oregon as well. And then lastly, Naheem Offord, a DB. He has visited Auburn a few times. He's currently an Ohio State commit. He will be at the Oregon Ohio State game, so he will be visiting that game October 12th. I mean, it really sounds like this is going to be a hard sell for Ohio State to keep him. Basically, I do think he leaves. We'll see, but yeah. All right, guys. One last thing here before we get out. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and it's going to be Douglas Oot. Okay, he is a offensive lineman from Bishop Gorman, Las Vegas kid. He was a Tennessee commit. Okay, he has been visiting. His family is longtime SC fans. He's been following us, and to be honest, a lot of us thought that he would be a Trojan later on, but unfortunately, he has flipped. He will be joining his teammate, who is also committed to the Oregon Ducks, and he is now an Oregon Duck. So big time get for Oregon. Definitely sucks, is what it is, but I mean, this is recruiting, baby. So hope all the best for the kid. Still got time for December, so maybe he wants to flip again to USC. We'll find out, but all the best. And guys, this is Week 5 preview. Hope you guys enjoyed the games and what we mentioned. Let me know in the comments what you guys think is your favorite game out there. I'm very excited about this Week 5. A lot of good matchups. Very underrated matchups. Yeah, and if there's any recruiting stuff that you guys want to chat about, let me know in the comments as well. But hey, enjoy your guys' fabulous Thursday and Friday. Peace.